The story of Paul, Paul was just a great kid. He had graduated from the Tufts University, and he was working at the time for an insurance company as a claims adjuster. He had taken his LSATs and was just beginning to plan where he was going to apply for law school. My son Paul Farris was killed on Memorial Day weekend in 2007. He and his girlfriend, Kate, were on their way home from downtown Boston, and they were riding in a taxi. And that taxi was struck by an offender who was fleeing a Massachusetts state trooper. The situation occurred when a Massachusetts state trooper saw an individual make an illegal U-turn. At that time, the officer determined that he would pull that person over for that violation. So he turned on his lights. The person pulled into I believe it was a fast food restaurant, pulled into the parking lot there, began to slow down, and then decided to run, and so bolted and took off at a high speed. The trooper made the decision at that point that it was necessary to pursue this person at a high rate of speed, and pursued him through several cities until they came into the city of Somerville, Massachusetts. Within several minutes of crossing into the city of Somerville, the person who was running struck that taxi at an intersection. Had they been there literally 30 seconds earlier or 30 seconds later, the accident wouldn't have occurred. But as a result of this misdemeanor traffic violation, Paul was killed, Wally Kaheen, the taxi driver, was killed, and Kate was, seriously injured, and it took her many years to recover. If Paul had been killed because of a police pursuit, because they were chasing somebody who had just, robbed a gas station and shot somebody, it would make sense. I wouldn't feel any better about it at all, but at least I could understand it. But Paul was killed because a police officer, following their pursuit policy, the state's pursuit policy, chased somebody through a densely populated city because of an illegal U-turn. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. My goal is to make people aware of how severe police chases are and how often they're occurring. Just look at your newspapers every day. It's happening way too often. There are almost no words to explain what it's like to lose a child. The order is wrong. You're supposed to die before your children die. Paul was 23 years old. To get a call at 4 in the morning from an emergency room doctor telling you very bluntly that your son's been in a car accident and he's dead, there just aren't words to explain that. And there's a lot of parents who have had to deal with the loss of their children, but it's really hard, and it never goes away. It's there every single day. There are memories that you have every single day because it's part of who you are in your life. But to know that your child died for a reason that was preventable, easily preventable, makes this even harder. And I think that's what puts me as an individual on the mission to tell the story as often as anybody will listen. Because I know that if one city, one town, one police chief makes a decision to change their pursuit policy, that a life will be saved. And when that happens, there's a parent out there who won't have to get that call at night. And that's what it's all about, because I got the call, my wife and I got the call, and we can't change that now, but maybe we can change it for somebody else.